Hey everybody, happy pre-Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving depending when you're watching this. So I was trying to think of what video I can do Thanksgiving related that I haven't already done. I've done the Thanksgiving turkey, the Thanksgiving sides. I'll post those links below. But I'm thinking of something maybe like if it's only you and your spouse or your significant other or a friend or someone that doesn't like turkey, and there are people that don't like turkey. And so what can you make as a substitute or just as good? You don't want them to miss out, you know. So I have come up with some really yummy ideas and I'm really excited to show you. I've done a similar video to this, but I'm kind of adding, kind of putting it a step up a little bit because it is Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to do, there's a lot of steps going on, but I'm telling you it's so simple and easy to make, and it's gonna be delicious, and your friends or family will not miss out on not having a turkey. And again, if you or just you and somebody else, you don't want to make a big turkey, so this is a good substitute for that too. Or you just don't feel like having turkey, you know, it happens, right? So here we go. This is exciting. I hope you guys like this. Please make a thumbs up, subscribe below, or comment on if you tried this dish. If you liked it, let me know. And here we go. So first thing I did, I'm making a baked potato. This is tremendous. So obviously a baked potato per person. I have my oven preheating at 450. You want to make sure to take a knife or a fork, poke the potato several times before you put it in. Some people like to put like olive oil around it. Oh, that means my oven's ready. Olive oil around it. Some people wrap it in tin foil. I just leave it plain. I don't wrap it in anything. And then basically what I do is I put it right on the rack there. I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes I'm going to flip it and put it on for another 30 minutes. So we're gonna do that now. So while the potato is cooking, I have these beautiful fillets that I bought at the store. I'm taking them out of the fridge and letting them come to room temperature, so it's not as tough when you cook it. It's easier when you cook it at room temperature. It's a lot more tender, and you definitely want to do that. So just put it on the counter and let it get to room temperature. I also have some frozen shrimp, which I'm defrosting right now. We're gonna marinate those in a little bit, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. So we're gonna get ready to marinate our shrimp while the potatoes are cooking. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys a quick little tip here. If you want to peel this, I'm gonna do a couple cloves of garlic here. If you want to quickly peel this, you want to just hold your knife, pretty decent sized knife, hold it over it and smash it like that. Might have to do it a couple times. And the paper on the garlic will come right off. Look at that, right there. And then we can just chop this up. So I have two pieces here. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. Flat knife, smash. If it doesn't come off right away, smash it another time. But there we go. Comes right off the whole paper and everything. There we go. So now we're gonna finely chop this. This is gonna go into our bowl of shrimp. Shrimp is just about frosted. Obviously you can do fresh shrimp, but I am going to, since I couldn't find fresh shrimp, I got a bag of whole, uncooked, peeled and deveined shrimp. You wanted to get, even if it costs a little more, fresh shrimp, get it peeled and deveined, because let me tell you what a pain that is. I've had to do that a couple times, and it's not fun. I'd rather spend the extra money and have it done for me. If you don't mind doing that, by all means, go ahead. All right, so that looks good. So we have our shrimp over here. Right here. So I'm gonna get on my garlic here, throw that in. Okay. Oh, I missed a few pieces. We're gonna add some salt and pepper and some olive oil. And then since I only have like 4 or 5 shrimp, I'm only gonna do a half a lemon. I only have 2 lemons. I did not plan ahead. The whole lemon on my second one is gonna be for a Béarnaise sauce that I'm making. Normally Béarnaise sauce need 2 lemons. I'm gonna make a smaller portion though, and I'll show you that in a little while. So go ahead and put this lemon in. Don't worry about the seeds. We're gonna fish that out later before we cook the shrimp. So this is just a marinade we're doing. Okay. And then we're just gonna mix it up. You can use a fork or knife or hands. Then we're just gonna let that marinate in there with all the yummy garlic flavor. If you have a shallot or an onion, you can add that too. So we have maybe another 10 minutes or so before I have to flip the potato. So we're gonna give the shrimp about that much long. The shrimp's not gonna take long to cook. It's gonna take maybe 5 or 10 minutes to cook. So this is gonna really be the last thing we do. The steak is gonna cook longer. So we're gonna let this marinate for as long as we need to. All right, my 30 minutes are up, so I am opening this. I'm gonna quickly use my fingers and just turn this. It's not near done yet. A baked potato needs about an hour. You don't have to flip it. I'm just weird that way, so I'm gonna set this timer for another 30 minutes. Now give me time to start prepping my steak. And we have these beautiful fillets. I'm gonna put some salt and pepper very generously on each side. And I had a couple pieces of bacon, so I am going to wrap a couple of these guys in bacon. So we got that. Let's do the other side. Let's flip all these around. More pepper and salt. And that's really all a fillet is. A fillet is such a tender piece of meat. You don't need to marinate it. You don't need to do anything. If I was gonna put this on the grill, I would put a little bit of olive oil on each side, but I'm cooking this in a pan, so I'm gonna put that oil or butter in the pan, actually. So let me get my bacon and some toothpicks. Some beautiful bacon here. And let's see, I guess it doesn't really matter which pieces I use. Let's do it this way. Let's put it up on its side here. Stretch the bacon out. Get a piece of toothpick. And put that in here like that. Just can't forget to take that piece of toothpick out before we eat it. So I'm gonna get the second piece here. Wrap that in bacon. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. Like I said, this is the holidays. We're not looking to really be too healthy. We can go and spend some more time at the gym tomorrow, work that off. So we're gonna let that rest for a few more minutes and then we'll get that started. The first what I'm gonna do is cook. I'm going to melt 2 sticks of butter, and the reason I'm doing this ahead of time is this needs to cool before we make our Béarnaise sauce. So we're gonna let this melt completely, turn off the heat, set it aside, let it cool before we add it to our Béarnaise sauce. You don't have to cool it completely, but you don't want it piping hot when you put it in the egg yolks. It'll cook the eggs and it'll end up being a mess, and you don't really want that. So we're gonna start doing that right now. I have my other pan here for my steaks, and I have a pan here for my shrimp. So we might want to make sure this is all timed correctly. We still have about 20 minutes left for our potato, and we have to put in the steaks soon. So it's gonna crank this up as high as you can get it. Now we're searing our steaks, so you want to make sure this is really, really hot. and before we put the steaks in, so we're gonna start that. The shrimp's gonna be the last thing we do because it literally takes like 5 minutes. So there we go. All right, so we have a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of olive oil. So we're gonna go ahead and put these on. And that's what you want to hear. Press it down a little bit. And we're going to cook this a few minutes on each side. And then we're going to stick it in the oven and let the inside cook until it's about medium to medium rare, 120, 130 degrees inside. Obviously, it's really, if you want it well done, you can definitely do that. Just keep it in the oven longer. But I love mine like at least a medium. So we're going to keep cooking this and we'll get back in a minute. All right, so it's been a few minutes. Let's flip these over. Nice, we got a nice char. So let that cook a few more minutes and then stick it in the oven. Now what you want to make sure is that your pan is oven proof. In other words, it doesn't have a plastic handle on it or anything like that. That you're able to put this whole pan in the oven to finish cooking the steaks. Or if you don't have that, what you can do is get a cookie sheet and put it on with some tinfoil on it and put it on that. And that's just as good. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. I'm actually going to transfer these to a cookie sheet. They're not done cooking at all. So I got my cookie sheet here. I'm going to put that in the oven for a few minutes, 8 to 12 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I'm going to start heating my pan for my shrimp. I got a couple of tablespoons of just regular butter. We're going to melt that. It'd help if I turn the oven on. It's still hot from when I did the steaks, so. And we have our marinated shrimp here. I'm going to pat that dry, and we'll stick that in. All right, so we're gonna put the shrimp in. And this is literally gonna take no time at all. As soon as they turn pink on each side, they'll pretty much be done and we can set them aside and let them cool a little bit. All right, so I just flipped them and as you can see, they're pretty pink. So we're gonna let that go for another minute or so and then the shrimp will be done and we're gonna start on our béarnaise sauce. This is the first time I'm making this, so your guess is as good as mine as how it'll come out, but I cannot wait to try it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get a couple of eggs and we just need the yolks for these. And then I'm gonna put the yolk into our blender, which I have right here. So the whites are gonna go in here and you can always save the whites for maybe an omelet or something the next day so you're not completely without, you know, wasting, but let me show you quickly how to do this. What we're gonna do is break this up. Oops. Try and get the whites out. Keep the yolk in. Just like that. It's kind of gross. And there's our yolk. Yolk goes in here. And we do that one more time. I think that went pretty well. Crack it. Carefully open it, let the white go out. I've seen people do this in their hands too. I mean, if that is what works for you. There we go, get the white out. It's gross. Give a little bit of help here. There we go. And then the yolk goes in here. All right, so there's our whites. We can save that, but we don't need them right this second. So we're gonna put the top on. I'm gonna go check my shrimp real quick, and we'll continue with that. These are done. So So I'm just gonna put these on a paper towel real quick and let them cool off. Boy, they shrunk a lot. You might want to get maybe jumbo shrimp next time for this. Okay, well there they are. Aren't they adorable? So there we go. So we have our butter over here cooling, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with that in a minute. I'm just gonna check on the steaks real quick. I'm gonna check the temperature on that. This cool meat thermometer, it's digital. So we're gonna see where we are with these steaks. Oh, I think they're way done. Okay, so I'm transferring my steaks, my fillets to the plate. We're gonna let that cool for a few minutes. And while it cools, I'm gonna tempt it and to add even more decadence, because like, as if there isn't enough, a little pat of butter on each one. That'll melt nicely. And I'm gonna tempt this, let it cool for 10 minutes, and then we'll start. So we have our yolks in there. We're gonna blend that for a few minutes. And then while we have that, we are going to add the lemon juice. And I've already picked out all the seeds in this lemon. This is 1 lemon. You mix that. And then what we're going to do is take off this top part. I don't know if you guys can see this top part here. And I'm going to slowly drizzle in the butter, melted butter, which is cooled off by now. So you have it right here. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to put it on stir. You want it on a low setting. Some salt and pepper. And I'm also going to add a little bit of paprika, or you can, if you don't have that, cayenne pepper, or you don't have to put that in at all. I definitely taste the lemon in there. So a little bit. And a little bit of salt and pepper. Put the top back on. And then we are going to stir it again. All right, so now we're going to plate it. We have our beautiful steak here. I'm going to take our toothpick out. Oh my gosh. Alright, just use your hands. We've got a couple of shrimp here. We put a few shrimp on each one. And then we have our beautiful béarnaise sauce. Oh my goodness, look at that. If that is not perfect, I don't know what is. Let's cut this bad boy open. See what we got. Look at that. How gorgeous is that, you guys? And I also have my baked potato. I have to try this. I have to try this with the béarnaise sauce. Oh my God. It is so good. The Béarnaise sauce is not perfect, but it is my first time, but it is good. The filet is cooked perfectly. The shrimp, so good. As far as the baked potato, I would suggest maybe setting up a baked potato bar. So you get all different toppings. You get chives and bacon and cheese and sour cream and butter, and let people pick what they want. Or if it's just you and someone else, you could still do it and it'd be fun. Also, what would be great under the steak is some asparagus with the Béarnaise sauce. I'm not a big asparagus fan, but you can definitely do that. I hope you guys love this dish. I hope you try it. Let me know what you think. It's a lot of steps, but it's so worth it in the end. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to finish eating this, so I'm gonna go eat. You guys have a great Thanksgiving, and let me know how your Thanksgiving was. How did everything go? I hope to see you soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.